Hello everybody, and welcome to a new edition of Juniper webinars. And today I am here to talk about and explain the ground handling concept. Please note that the control panel on the right will be available throughout the presentation. So please feel free to send me any questions and I will answer you as soon as I can. Also, for those of you who are not following this presentation in real time, at the end of this presentation you can find our contact details. Okay, we start with the agenda. We have our introduction. What is ground handling? How does it work? How does this module add value to my business? We will do a short demo and then a summary. Introduction. We will start by showing you a diagram, giving you an overview of all the modules that we have in Juniper. On the left you can see the product. Each color symbolizes a different type of product, and on the top we have our XML suppliers, and at the bottom our hosted contracts, our direct product. This product is then controlled using your booking engine by applying rules and the processes. And on the right you can see your distribution channels. The modules highlighted in orange means that these have not been offered before, and you can find more information on our YouTube channel for Juniper. Ground handling is a module available for the booking engine. What is ground handling? The ground handling module allows the receptive travel agency to manage and organize requests for transfers and excursions, assigning them efficiently to vehicles, ground service personnel, and guides. Through this module you can perform the following actions: determine and create meeting and pickup points in the itineraries for transfers and excursions, edit different types of vehicles, distribute all bookings to the different services requested automatically, manage the service of transfers and excursions sold, and elaborate internal and external management reports facilitating the verification of costs and potential revenue. How does it work? So in the diagram below, this will help us explain how this works. So in step 1 you will receive the reservations made by your clients, which are to be processed through this module. Through the assignment screen you will be able to assign bookings according to their type, for example excursions or transfers. Finally, you can make internal reports and export this information for your suppliers. Before starting to use the module, through the drop down of the maintenance, you will have to configure the various elements that will serve later to manage the operations of assignments, of transfers and excursions. The products of your suppliers must be created in the system specifying the various rates, vehicles, guides and drivers if they are activated under request. As you can see in the image, you can specify the name and the minimum and maximum capacity, and you can specify the cost, the markup and the sales price. Times and meeting points such as main pickup areas, as in Madrid, London, Amsterdam, meeting points, hotels and airports, these can all be configured as you can see in the diagram to the right. The main areas are configured so that the allocation operations can be automated in an accurate way, and so that the system can optimally order the collection of passengers according to the route, thus minimizing costs and maximizing the capacity performance of the vehicles. Then the meeting points are needed, for example hotels or airports, that will mark the routes of the main areas. Bookings. The different reservations that are arriving appear in the ground handling system. Within the screen, assignments, that opens by default when assigning the ground handling module from your intranet, you get the list of all the bookings that the system has previously loaded, divided according to the days in which you will need to assign a service. All the bookings can be filtered by date range, concrete area or destination in which the transfer or excursion is offered, and flight number. Assignment. The assignments of transfers and excursions are carried out in the same way, except that the latter offer the possibility of assigning sales guidance first and then of hotel and airport. To assign a vehicle or guide to the bookings of existing transfers and excursions, you must go to Maintenance Assignment screen, which will show you all the detailed requests which require assignment. As we see in the image below, each booking comes with the information, the name, the pickup date, service date, origin, and the name of the customer. How does it work? Assignment. To assign a vehicle or guide, first the bookings to be assigned must be selected, always considering the origin. In the case of assigning a transfer, it is necessary to establish a name criterion for the service in the product load. For example, TFA and TFS for arrival and departure transfers respectively. In the assignment screen that will be displayed, the following will be indicated: booking data, data that will automatically appear, that include booking code, customer name, date of service, total number of passengers, and see origins and destinations, where the transfer or excursion begins and ends. Date, the date and time of collection are selected. Vehicle data, a vehicle type, the supplier, and a vehicle must be selected, depending on the capacity of the transfer or the passenger excursion of the assignment that is being managed. Once all the fields are completed, the data must be saved. It is also important to check the results that will appear on the maintenance screens. Once the services have been assigned, then you have the possibility to create reports. The ground handling module offers different types of reports with information and booking details that have been managed in the assignment screen. The reports prepared by the system can be categorized among internal management reports, for example, a list of passengers with all the details of the booking that can be generated, which will be automatically sent to suppliers with the assigned vehicles and guides, and of internal management, among which the billing report of the costs of the service or transfers. The most used of these are transfers, excursions, clearance, and passengers. Transfers and excursions. These reports allow you to obtain a list of all the services that have been carried out on a given day, with all the detailed information regarding the vehicle time, pickup point, origin, destination, total number of passengers, and luggage, for example. Clearance. This report provides a list of prices and services made by each supplier. In addition, the system produces reports that indicate the amount that drivers and/or guides should receive as a commission or incentive. In this way, the billing of the costs of the service is managed quickly and easily. And passengers. Through this option, the system generates a report of all passengers by service that you can send to your supplier, driver, or guide, including information such as full name and type of passenger, adult, sir, baby, age, and booking code. How does this module add value to my business? Coordinate the logistics of transporting passengers with the available vehicles in a simplified and agile way without losing time in emails and calls. Distribute the requests for transfers and excursions quickly and easily with freedom of action and automation. You will create well-organized and punctual routes, marking the estimated time between the zones, the meeting points of the transfer or excursion and your order. You will efficiently manage the service provided and the settlement of charges to drivers and guides. Absolute control of your cost-profit margins thanks to the efficiency of the multiple functionalities of this module. Please note that some of the details, suppliers and agencies have been obscured in this presentation for data protection. First, we'll start off with transfers by logging into our intranet. Once we have logged in, we can then go to ground handling. We can then select the zone, in this case Mallorca, and the dates that we wish to filter. We press search, and in this case you can see all the services for yesterday. In this list you can see all the arrivals and the departures. So now I'll show you how to filter between the two. So by filtering here TFD, we can filter all the departures. To further organize the results, we can filter by clients, and then we can see the departures for each agency. Now we can select our departures and press assign. So here we can see the details of the departures, the amount of adults, number of children and infants. So you can revise that information. And in details of the transfer, we need to see and select the type of vehicle for this service. The types of vehicle, you can see the number of passengers that can be seated on each transfer. And then we can assign. Now in ground handling, the order is in by schedule. So if we go down, we can find the service which we've just created. By selecting here, we can adjust the order of the drop-offs, but this is something that we can do later. So now to combine this assignment, we select them all, the departures, and select assign, and click here at the bottom, and accept. Once we have our services in exports, we can create a report and filter the information by supplier. And we can filter those by the service date and the type of transfer, either arrival or departure. So in this case we'll take arrivals, and we can select not sent and shuttle transfers. So here are all the bookings services for tomorrow for this particular supplier, and these are not sent, so we need to send those. So we can mark them all. We can deselect this one, for example, because it's cancelled, and we can send to supplier by clicking here. Okay, once that process is complete, we can go to reports, ground handling reports, transfers, so here we have the date of service, which is today, and we can filter by the client name. In this case, we will send all the services to the provider. Also, in type of transfer, we can distinguish between arrivals or departures, and we also need to specify the type of vehicle depending on the number of seats as before, and press search. So here you can see all the arrivals we need to send to the supplier, and we can export this information by selecting here export a PDF, and clicking export PDF. This will download the PDF onto your computer. So with this PDF, you can send directly to your supplier. It has all the information, the time of pickup, when they arrive, the origin, the destination, the amount of packs, and there's, as you can see, there are two services, two shuttles on this PDF. Now to create a booking, we can go to Call Center, Transfers. So first of all, we have to specify the agency. And then we can specify the zone, in this case Mallorca. We can select here the type of service, either in this case shuttle, and we can also select here if it's a one-way journey or return journey. So here we have to select the origin, so that'll, in this case it will be Palma Airport, and then the destination where the transfer will be going, and the arrival date and the departure date. We can add the hours of arrival and departures later from the call center. And then we need to specify the occupation. So in this case it's a couple, 2 adults, and if they have children we will need to specify the ages of the children. Now we can just revise the information that we've loaded and press search. So here we have the arrivals, which is TFA, and here we have the return journey, TFD, the departure. So we select both of these services and click on the shopping cart. So now we can fill in the details of the reservation with the name and the surname of the lead name, and we can specify the agency reference number. It's important to check, the system will advise you if that number already exists or not. So if you type in the agency reference number, you can press tab and it will advise you if that number already exists or not. Okay, in the details of the service as well, we can specify any observations for the supplier. So for example, if they need a booster seat for a child, and this information will be sent to the supplier as well. Okay, next we need to specify the flight number for their arrival time, and the airport of origin. If this is not known, then you can type in NIS and continue with the reservation. Okay, next we can specify the name of the hotel where they will be for their destination. So in this case, BH Mallorca Apartments. And this information would have been configured beforehand, so it will show you the pickup point, which in this case is also the BH Mallorca Apartments. For the return journey, we need to specify in observations again that the customer needs a booster seat, and then we can specify the flight details for the return flight for the customer, the time of departure, and the airport of destination. We can select here the name of the hotel. Here you have the option it's optional to add the passenger details, but to generate the booking the system only needs the lead name, and we can press reserve and accept, and the booking will be generated. So here you can see the summary of the details of the reservation, the date that it's of arrival and departure, the cost, price and sales price, and we can also make some modifications by clicking here. For example, you can modify the dates, passengers. So by selecting here. So for example, if we need to change the dates of the arrival or the departure, we can do so here. Or if we need to modify the flight information, that can all be done here. And we just press next, accept, revise the information, and the changes have been made. So to make another modification, by clicking here in distribution for the booking, we can modify the amount of adults and children. Press next, OK, save. And once we've finished, well, in this case we can delete this reservation here, press accept, because it's a test booking. And then the booking has been deleted. Excursions. Okay, from ground handling we can see a number of tickets, excursions, the number of passengers, the date, the name of the excursion. What's very important to note is the ticket number, because we have different types of excursions. For example, those which are made by an agency, smaller agencies. As you can see in the column, there are many excursions which don't have the ticket number. To generate a booking, we can go to the call center and select the two services and select the agency and the zone. We can select the dates, for example the 2nd of July, the occupation, 2 adults, and press search, and this will bring up our results. We can filter those results. For example, with Isla we can find the excursion that we're looking for, and by selecting here. So to create the booking we can add in the names of the lead name of the booking, the language of the client, and we can also select the meeting point for this excursion. The time of the pickup will automatically come up as this is pre-configured, and we can press book. Now we can select the 3rd of July and we can see our reservation. Here we have the same options as in transfers. We can check the details of the reservation. Here appear the same options to modify. Here you can modify the price, adjust the details, the information, the passengers. Okay, so for example here we can go to the 14th, and here we can filter the results so the view is better, and we can see the 2 buses. So for ground handling we need to know how many passengers are in each excursion, so for this reason we can assign each services, and then we can assign, and we can select the type of vehicle as before, and we can leave this service on standby. It's very important that we select the guide and also the point of meeting point as well. So going back, we can remove the filters. So what we have in green here is what we have already sent to the provider. So if we go to reports and we go to excursions, then we can select the day of service, and we can also select the guide. And by pressing search, we can see the details of the service for the guide. And this information can be exported to PDF. Inside this PDF, we have all the information, the date of the excursion, the pickup time, the meeting point, the passengers, the amount of adults, children, infants, the rep, and all the information and any observations that they need. Okay, to conclude, we will observe that the ground handling module is a complete module which has numerous notches and functionalities which will allow you to expand the limits of your organization, improve the executive efficiency of your company, and maximize the benefits of your sales. It is based on the assignment of the bookings that the receptive agency receives, a transfer service and/or excursion. The tool that we offer allows you to easily manage and structure all these operations and facilitates the verification of costs and potential revenue through the functions of attribution of costs and sales prices for each service, vehicle or guide. To find out more information about ground handling, you can go to our landing ground handling at the following link. Also on support online, we have more information about how this module works. Also, we have our YouTube channel at this, where we upload all of our webinars. Thank you for your time.